Hey everybody, Heather Andrews, the Andrews Insurance Agency, and I want to go over ideas to save your money on insurance. So we're going to talk about how to save money on older homes, and then we're going to talk about if you're shopping for homes, what to look for if you're worried about the insurance pricing. Okay, so first of all, if you have a home that's over 20 years old, you have to have a 4-point in wind mitigation. We highly recommend you get these before we quote because if we quote without those, we might scare you away from the purchase, and we don't want to do that. So we kind of try to make it clear stating that without the inspections, it's going to be very pricey. For example, we had a client that just gave me the name and address and didn't give me any other information besides it was a weekly rental. So I couldn't run their insurance for or anything like that. We gave them a quote for $14,000. That was the cheapest we could find. The next one in line, the same house gave us all the information that we needed, and we were able to get the quote down to $4,000. So people do not realize how important information is that can get you a better quote. I know you're like, oh, well, I give you what you asked. Yes, but if you give me everything we asked for, we're more likely to get you a better quote because we have all the information we need. And it's just going to make a smooth process. So that's one way to save money. Everything that we ask for, 4-point wind mitt, personal information, all that fun stuff, hand it over and we can get you the best quote possible. Now, when we ask for the inspections, one of the things that we're looking for is your wind mitigation. Your wind mitigation is full of all these credits, and everyone's like, oh, I wind mitt passed. Wind mitt is not a pass or fail. A 4-point is a pass or fail. 4 points don't save you money, but you have to have them to show that you're within the guidelines of the carrier. Wind mitigations save you money. But it's not just a basic credit across the board. Each number has about 3 or 4 different credits that you can get. So it's very important that we have that wind mitigation. Now, if we get the wind mitigation and we notice that you have toenails, we're going to say, hey, here's a phone number. Here's an example of what to do. We have a little packet that we send you that shows exactly what we're talking about. But if you have toenail, we're going to be like, hey, if you take your toenails and change them to clips. So what that means is you have the roof connected to the walls have these brackets. In those brackets, if there's only 2 nails, that's considered toenails. If there's 3 nails, that's considered clips. And that can save you $1,000, $2,000. I've had it save people multiple $1,000s. It just depends on the house. And what I always tell people, year 1, you'll break even. And after that, you'll make up your money. But what you do is you're going to have a company come out. They're going to go in and put the 3rd nail through the eaves, and then they're going to get you a new wind mitigation. That's going to save you a ton of money. We highly recommend that on older homes. Now, also on the older homes, you might not have hurricane rated windows. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm getting new windows. Okay, but it's not just the windows that we're worried about. Every opening in the home needs to have hurricane protection. So if you do all the windows, but not the doors, the garage doors, the skylights, the sliders, things like that, you're not going to get any credit. It's an all or nothing situation. But if you update every opening to hurricane protection, you're going to save quite a bit of money. To get that proof to the carrier, you're going to have to get a new inspection called a wind mitigation. And you're going to hear me talk about a wind mitigation a lot because that's where you save your money. Okay. Another way to save money is if you already have a policy, and let's say it's just a normal day and you're like, oh, we need a new water heater. And you put a new water heater in and everything, and you just go on your day. If you send us that information, we'll upload it to the carrier. We need a paid in full invoice by a licensed contractor with the license number on it and a photo. And then what we do is we submit it to the carrier. And you won't see a line item that saves you money, but what it may do is keep you from being non-renewed. And that could save you a couple $100s, but we don't know because they stuck with you. Because when you're in a policy already, you're in guidelines that sometimes could be grandfathered in. So by going and up anything that's updated that you send to your agent, that's going to save you guys money in the long run, even though you're not going to physically see it save you money, if that makes sense. So any of the 4-point issues that you have, or 4 points that you update, so if you update your plumbing, if you update your water heater, your air conditioning, electric, roof, all that stuff, you want to send it to your agent because, like I said, it might not save you money as a line item, but it might keep you from getting non-renewed from your current carrier. All carriers will tell you it's hurricane exposure, even if it's not. So sometimes if we put that wind mitigation in there, if you got new things, or if we got that new water heater and we show that you're working on your house, they may not non-renew you like they planned. So just keep that in the back of your head. Alarms save you money on some homes. I hate to say it across the board. Newer homes, we've had them put in and they saved the client $1. But older homes, we've had it where it saves $15, $20. It's not as big as it used to be, but it does save some money. Condos is a different story because you have your sprinkler fire letter, which is sprinklers and fire and alarm. So those are a little bit more potent on saving you money. And how do you get those? You're going to go to your association and say, hey, do you have a sprinkler fire letter? And then also when you're there, ask for a wind mitigation. That's like free money. They give it to you. Okay. The only problem we have with condos is sometimes they're older than 5 years old. You can only accept a wind mit for 5 years. And sometimes they don't have colored photos. You cannot accept a wind mitigation if it does not have colored photos. And lastly, sometimes it's on the wrong form. If it's on a commercial form and the condo is 6 levels or less, the carriers will not accept that. But that's some ways to save some money with your condo. Another thing, you get a discount if your house is gated or if you have limited access, meaning one road into your subdivision. Another thing that can save you money is your insurance score. So let's say you purchase a house, and yes, after you purchase a house, sometimes your insurance score isn't the best because credit is a little bit part of your insurance score. It's not the whole thing. It's how likely you are to claim, your past claims, your credit score. A bunch of things go together to make an insurance score. But if you raise that all up, don't have a lot of claims, things like that, the next year you might have a better insurance rating and it could bring your insurance down. We see that a lot on auto when like a wreck falls off or something like that. On renewal, you'll see a discount. But with homes, you do as well. So you really always want to work on your insurance score. Another thing that helps, and this is kind of weird, is what pet you have. So I had a pit bull for years. We actually just put her down last week, but she wouldn't hurt a fly, but carriers would not accept her because of her name. She's a pit bull. So we had to put her with our house with certain carriers, and they would accept it. So if you have a dog that's not threatening, it's not on the list like a German Shepherd, pit bulls, there's a couple others on there, that can make your insurance more affordable because you can go with a carrier that will accept it. With her, once she was gone, we did find another carrier that would accept us, and we did save quite a bit of money. It's sad, but at the same time, it's the truth. So we just have to let you guys know that. And then last but not least, sometimes if you have a rental and you're just getting killed on insurance, trust me, I completely understand. Some of the things is to longer the renting time. So let's say you have a weekly rental and it's just crazy expensive. Thank God some of our carriers are opening back up. So we've been able to bring these prices back down, which is good. But back at the beginning of the year, right after Ian, we had no power and it was like $12,000 for a rental. But what we were telling people was, hey, go long-term rental. Go long-term until insurance gets straightened back out, and then you can go back to short-term. So a lot of our carriers or a lot of our clients did. They went yearly rentals, and now the year's up and they're switching back to weekly rentals because now it's a little bit more affordable. We took one of our clients from $18,000 to $4,000, which is huge. But instead of paying that huge price for a year, a lot of our clients went to a yearly rental, which was a lot more affordable. And then now they're going back to the weekly rental because insurance is starting to collect. So those are just some ways that we can help you save money on your houses you currently have. Now, if you're shopping for a home and you're really worried about insurance, which I completely understand with interest rates high, insurance high, it's like, I just want this house. But one of the things you can look for is a newer home is always going to be more affordable. So if you have a brand new home, is going to be probably around the $800 to $1,500 range. Where if you have an older home, it's going to be around the $3,000 to $5,000 range, somewhere give or take in there. But newer homes, most of them are gated, they're brand new built. So you're going to get that discount as well. And then you don't have to have inspections for homes 10 years or newer. You automatically get the credit. So that's one way to make it more affordable. Farther away from the coast, of course, is going to make it more affordable. Masonry versus frame. Three Little Pigs, if you're going to buy a house that's made out of wood, just remember what happened when the big bad wolf came. So it's always more affordable if you have masonry home. Now, if you have a 2-story home and the bottom's masonry and the top is frame, your house is frame. In the carriers, most of the carriers eyes. There's few that will let us do like 50-50, things like that, but 90% of the carriers, your house is officially frame. And when I see these new builds and they're building it out of wood, I'm like, what are you doing? We live in Florida. But those are some of the things that you can look for that's going to help you have more affordable insurance. So let us know if you have any questions. We are always here to help. And my name is Heather Andrews with the Andrews Insurance, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye, y'all.